Welcome to everyone. This weekend on the other side, we will be talking about sense of humor and resilience. Why? So Talat, did you know that World Economic Forum, they've identified these two skills as life skills? And clearly it's not a surprise, especially sense of humor. It helps in socializing. Number two, it helps build the immunity system. Number three, it helps us cope with mental illnesses. And I think it's a very attractive feature of any personality because it helps in dating too. And so tell me, what is so special about our guest today, who has probably embodies both the skills?
Yeah, absolutely, Fariha. So, let me join Fariha in welcoming everybody to our show today, which is a little off the beaten track. Our guest is somebody very special. He was born and brought up in Pakistan, and then moved to Australia in I think about 2012 or so. He now lives in Melbourne, Australia, and his name is Sami Shah. So who is Sami Shah? Sami Shah, for those of you who don't know, is a multi-award-winning writer, comedian, and broadcaster. He's been profiled in the New York Times, ABC's Australian Story, BBC Radio 4, and appeared on Q1 with Stephen Fry and The Project.
Fantastic, Talat.
Yeah, so he's like, amazing. He's written an autobiography called I Migrant, and we're going to be talking about that, which is really around his own experience when he was moving to Australia, and when he moved there, how things changed and how he felt and the changes that he went through. And I think our show is going to be so rich because it relates to how people, when they move countries, and you've lived and worked in different countries, yes, and spoken about this before, Fariha. So you know how difficult it is initially just to fit in, and if you're in an environment where they're not very welcoming or they're not open to new cultures or new ways or new accents, it becomes quite difficult, I think.
It becomes an issue. As well as I want to go back actually and sort of because Sami Shah is also known for being a great stand-up comedian. It's about the sense of humor because, like as you're saying, you have relocated, I've relocated. Sometimes it does feel like it's a comedy of errors, right? And I also wonder, which is an interesting fact, you see, there is no such thing. Nobody is born as being incompetent in sense of humor. But, sometimes you do meet people and you wonder that where is their sense of humor, especially at work, right?
Yes.
And I think this is so important. And I was just thinking when we were sort of preparing for the show, our interactions, you remember some of our meetings and some of our assessments, but we sort of laughed and we still enjoy those moments. So yes. I wonder why we all have to take our life seriously. What do you think?
Absolutely, Fariha. And more than, I think it's easier to laugh at other people. But I think, the more important part is don't take yourself too seriously, Have the ability to laugh at yourself. I mean, I can't imagine the amount of times, even today, in my team, when they point out like a mistake I've made, very gingerly, I'm always like, oh my God, how silly I am, of course. And I burst out laughing, of course, how did I miss that, And you're able to say, God, this is really funny. Or, I think I screwed up there. Or, God, I really sound funny. Or you start, so I think too many times people are so interested in keeping up that image or are worried about how they will be perceived if they're too frivolous or they crack a joke or something. I think they feel they might not be taken seriously, or their leadership or their stature or their position will be the question. And that's not true at all, is it?
It's not. And that's why resilience and sense of humor, they go hand in hand. And of course, we're going to hear from Sami. And that's why there is a reason people say that laughter truly is the best medicine. Because you can take all the medicines in the world, but if you're able to laugh at yourself and just take it lightly, I think life is far more prettier and easier. So with that, Talat, let's just hear from Sami.
Absolutely. On our next show, which is called The Comedy of Errors.